welcome once again to the 10 Count, our list show of all things wrestling that is ready to rumble. Because this week, the best of the Royal Rumble matches. That match that everyone looks forward to every year. Anything can happen. And it's a beautiful amalgamation of skill, concentration, determination, much like the voice of a generation, the Onitoshi Jeff Mack. With me, as always, the Sheen Machine, Joseph Wessel.
Take two.
Yeah.
What, you already got in the match, already got out and came back in? You can't, you got to stay out. Once your feet hit the bottom, hit the outside, you stay out.
I'm not pulling an Alex Riley. I'm still in the match.
And always the number 30 entrant, the Human Wrestling Database, Corey Mack.
Back in my day when I worked Battle Royals, we didn't have fucking numbers. Y'all started, we all walked out together wearing nothing but wool underwear and a towel around our necks
Oh my
with
goodness.
our buzz cuts.
Was this with you and Dory?
This was before Dory even.
Oh, wow.
So with Backlund?
No, this is fucking, I worked San Martino in a Battle Royal in 61. He went over.
Of course.
Yeah.
Was Hogan involved somehow?
No, not yet.
But you're about 20 years too soon for that.
The last Battle Royal
You
I
don't know
worked,
that.
the last Battle Royal I worked was a Legends Battle Royal in 87.
Okay.
I got to eliminate Ray Stevens, but the Crusher eliminated me. Luthez won the whole fucking thing.
Of course Thez did. He wanted to go over.
Well, he couldn't take the bump.
So, the top 10 Royal Rumble matches of all time. Well, there's only 30. Well,
There's more than that.
29.
There's more than that.
But as for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself, Corey, give us a little background on the show.
Well, in the late 80s, always looking for gimmicks to round out the year. You didn't want to just burn your hot matches all the time on house shows or potential big events. So Pat Patterson came up with the idea to do not just a regular battle royal, but rather maybe a battle royal where it started with two guys and then you pulled numbers and you came out according to the number until all guys were in the ring, and then the last man standing was, of course, the winner. At first, Vince thought that was the dumbest fucking thing he'd ever heard. And Pat just said, no, I think it's a really good idea. And finally, Vince said, fine, do it on a house show somewhere and see if it works. And reportedly, the first one did not. The crowd hated it.
Yeah.
No, because nobody could understand it.
Okay.
Everybody was just met with one-man gang won most of the early ones.
Oh, shit.
Instead of a pay-per-view, they started it as it was a house show run. They just did it around the loop. Mm-hmm. On like the B shows. Yeah. So guys like The Natural Butch Reed and One Man Gang and people like that were winning these things.
That might explain the booking in the first one.
And they decided to fuck over Jim Crockett Promotions, who had the nerve to run a pay-per-view.
Oh.
That was Vince's thing. Mm-hmm. So while you want to run a fucking pay-per-view, fine. We're just gonna put a free goddamn special on the USA Network that'll run at the same exact fucking time for free. And but we're not gonna waste a good. God damn it, Powell! Just put your goddamn Rumble battle thing on there. Is exactly how that went.
1988.
Yep. Cops Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
But it was a little bit different than...
It was a 20-man Royal Rumble, which is what they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
On the loop. And completely void of the top tier stars. Mm-hmm. It was firmly like a mid-card thing. I think the biggest name at the time in the match would be the guy who won it, and that was Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh!
Last eliminating who?
Oh, I watched this one just a couple days ago. I can't remember.
Multiple-time Royal Rumble winner, the one-man gang.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, because it was a pretty impressive feat to get him up and over.
Wade Morlock just fell down and grabbed the rope.
Yeah, pretty much.
One-man gang fell over. It was kind of fun to watch that one because a lot of guys didn't know the fucking rules and people were showing up way early and not being allowed in the ring. On one occasion, two guys came down at once.
They cleared it up by the next year.
Yes, when it became a focal point with big names and 30 men, which is what you see now, except for 2011.
Is that on the list?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No, 88, 89, and anything really past
2010, 2009 onward is not on this list.
Yeah, it gets bad at that point.
I'm hoping we can put this upcoming Royal Rumble on this list.
about to say the 2017
Because
Rumble.
so far the card is stacked.
It looks impressive.
Yeah.
And we actually don't know the outcome already. Which
We don't
is
even
really
know.
nice.
We don't even know almost half of the guys in the match.
There's 22.
Oh, now there's 22.
Yeah.
22.
Last time I
There's-
checked, there was like 17 announced.
There's 8 left.
Okay.
8 spots.
Which
left.
does make that a little more open. But as for this list, we are not doing the entire pay-per-view, just the Rumble match itself.
Yes. Which
no-
Rumble matches rose up and were booked well
Exactly.
and became legendary?
As is always with these lists, all three of us came up with our own lists. We're tabulated through the database to come up with this ultimate list. And we start with
Number 10.
2000. Corey, why is 2000 a big time Rumble?
I'm not sure. I didn't vote for it. You two did, though. And 2000, it's The Rock winning the Royal Rumble. The only one he would win. It's kind of a weird period in WWF. Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, out with the neck injury. Triple H and Cactus Jack in the world title match earlier in the night. So really, this is one of those Royal Rumbles where there was conceivably 2 winners.
Yes.
It was either going to be The Rock or The Big Show, and it came down to those two. But there was some fun things in the beginning. I mean, Rikishi had the Diesel run in 2000, but of course they incorporated the Too Cool Rikishi dance into the Rumble, and then he eliminates him. And of course, The Rock and Big Show just doing their thing.
And then there's the people who weren't in the Rumble.
We had Kai and Ty really wanted to be in this Rumble.
Yes, they did.
They paid for it.
About what, 3 times they went back and forth?
And Taka probably still has a concussion from his last elimination.
Now, one thing that also, for me personally, makes this Rumble a lot of fun is the setting. There's something different when you do this at Madison Square Garden than anywhere else, because you don't have that long entrance ramp from the
Yeah.
side.
It's like a 5-foot ramp. Like,
And-
not a ramp, it's
and
a
it's-
walkway.
And it's facing hard camera.
Exactly.
So.
And of course, you're talking about the home field advantage of WWF when it comes to, or at the time WWF.
There's just something
WWE.
different when they're in Madison Square Garden.
And it really worked here. Brock was over as fuck.
Oh, it's Rock, and yeah.
It worked out really
And I think
well.
that's the reason why he won.
Well, yeah. It was
Well, I get, you know, don't worry, Big Show might come and play at Mania this year.
yeah. Might.
So, Rock wins.
Yes.
What's the ramifications here?
He goes on to WrestleMania and to get the title shot in the main event. But wait a minute. Actually, so does Big Show.
Really?
What?
So did they both win?
No, just The Rock.
Because didn't
And
they
actually,
do,
Mick Foley-
'cause in this Raw, and then in this Rumble, didn't they do like the Rock step? They both stepped at the same time, or Rock did
it's-
one
it's-
foot.
Big Show had him on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And went to throw him over, but Rock grabbed the rope, and Big Show's momentum took him over.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. I think technically, Rock's feet probably did touch the ground. They never showed that camera angle. No, if you
No.
noticed.
No, yeah. Because that's one thing I remember about this one,
Yeah.
and like I kind of liked it. This one's on my list, because of that more of that finish of, you know, I think they did it with Brett and Luger.
Yep.
Yep.
And I think that was like the last time they've did that
Yeah.
prior to
that situation,
Yes,
yeah.
the situation of, oh wait, who won this match?
I mean, I can tell they definitely wanted to have intrigue
Yeah.
as to who would. And it worked.
but I think I think the reason why they didn't show the camera was because they both won.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So they would go on to main event WrestleMania. Who else was in that match?
Mick Foley and Triple H.
You mean the guys who were in the title match before this match?
Yeah.
So basically, everything was a wash. Let's just have 4 men in the main event.
Welcome to the Attitude Era.
And WrestleMania 2000, which I believe made our worst of.
Oh, it is. It's
lists.
a terrible WrestleMania.
Which is also available on 10 count here on
Really?
SoundCloud. iTunes.
Town count?
Yeah,
Town
it's-
count. I'm taking you to town
Town
count
counts.
tonight, baby.
Pretty much.
Get ready to add and subtract.
But I know this one made the bottom of my list at number 10. Joe, where was this one on your list? About middle.
I think it was
to late.
middle, yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's at number 10. I think there's no problems here with this one.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I though have this next one much higher on my list for obvious reasons. But we must move forward to
Number 9.
2004.
No.
The Wachovia Center in Philly.
Yep. The Wachovia Center. This is the year that Vacant won the Royal Rumble. From the
Stevie Richards?
From the number 1 position.
Jeez.
No, Chris Benoit wins it from number 1, and this is the year that him and Randy Orton start at 1 and 2. Randy Orton on the rise on Raw, Chris Benoit on the rise on SmackDown. And this has got some beautiful storytelling in it.
Yes, it does.
It's got Mick Foley showing up later on in the night to get revenge on Randy Orton and thus eliminate him after him doing the kind of Iron Man performance.
Oh, yeah.
It's got Chris Benoit starting at number 1 because Paul Heyman's trying to screw him and having the fight and the determination. It's got Kane coming out and wreaking havoc, and then a mysterious force from the dark side distracting him and getting eliminated as the Undertaker is coming back soon. And it's got the rise of John Cena, who's getting over at the time.
There was the stuff between him and Big Show.
Yep, who were feuding at the time.
Kurt Angle had a great run here as well in this match.
Yeah.
The downfall of Goldberg.
Yeah,
All the Goldberg stuff at the end. The spear that Nunzio took
yeah.
in that match is one of the top 5 of all time.
Goldberg coming in, cleaning house, then Brock comes in, F5's him and eliminates him.
This one has a really good setup for the upcoming Mania.
Yeah. Of course, the ending where Benoit pretty much chokes Big Show out of the match to win. It's one of my favorite Royal Rumbles, and yeah, I'm glad I made the list.
But I'll say, yeah, this was number 3 on my list, actually. And this is one that I go back and I look forward to every year watching because, again, I was such a Benoit fan for the in-ring stuff.
And personally, I was just such a fan of that time frame that it's one of my favorite rosters.
Oh, yeah. The roster is great. Again, Randy Orton, just a star-making performance here.
Yep.
So I gotta say, I know it's not the Rumble match, but you really enjoyed Brock Lesnar versus Hardcore Holly for
No.
your championship match for this
Nope,
Rumble.
but I'm fine with them putting it here because they did have a story. He legit broke Holly's neck. So it made sense to do the rematch. And it made sense to do it on a Rumble where you've got the Rumble itself and the Raw World Title match as well to actually sell the pay-per-view.
Because
So
that
I've
was, but I say, Triple H and Shawn Michaels kind of sells itself.
So I've got no problem with them sticking Lesnar and Holly on here. It's just a fine throwaway title match.
But no, this is an absolute great Rumble and one everyone should go and watch. Now, this leads into WrestleMania 20. And, well, the triple threat match, which is kind of legendary at this point, almost synonymous now because of what happened later on. But it led to a really fun story.
It's probably the best ignored WrestleMania match of all time. It's ignored for obvious reasons.
Yes. But
Stevie Richards versus Shawn and H.
But the actual story told that year from Rumble to Mania is absolutely perfectly done.
I would say in this Rumble has probably one of the, I don't know. I would like to say, I don't know. Never mind.
Okay.
No,
that was brilliant.
I was going to say something, but I was confusing Mania with Eddie at the end with Rumble.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, there is of course a lead up here because with Brock coming in and screwing, Goldberg. Goldberg screws Brock at No Way Out.
Taker's coming back and screws Kane. And just like
Foley comes in and screws Orton.
So there's 4 matches right there set up for Mania.
Exactly. And so brilliant stuff. Some of it paid off better than others. Obviously, we don't want to talk too much about WrestleMania 20 between Brock and Goldberg, but this was a lot of fun.
Hey, they gave us a good Survivor Series match.
It's true.
This is very true. It only took
11 and a half years.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that we should roll back the clocks with our next selection.
Shall we? Number 8.
Let's go back 10 years to 1994.
Love it.
So, Corey, Providence, Rhode Island, Providence Civic Center.
Yep.
And, well, at least we haven't reached the new generation completely yet.
It's pretty much there. A Saturday night pay-per-view, if I remember correctly. One of the last ones they did on a Saturday. And this is a fun Rumble. Of course, it's the infamous dual winner Royal Rumble between Bret Hart and Lex Luger, which they did to try to see who actually had the fan support going into Mania.
And who did?
Bret.
Yeah, think.
It's... Well, we won't talk about the whole card because it's just about the Rumble. So, I mean, this is the infamous... besides the infamous dual winner, this is the infamous Diesel push. Mm-hmm. The first that they seemingly do every year now with someone else. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of watered down at this point.
Because he had 7 eliminations.
Yeah, he just comes in early and just runs through the place. Fans are chanting Diesel. It pretty much saved his career. He was kind of on the chopping block at the time. The bodyguard thing for Shawn was pretty much kind of over. He wasn't over himself. The fans getting behind him when this happened kind of revitalized him and gave him some time, and we all know what happened there.
But I'll say, you look at his spot here compared to where he is the next year.
Yep.
It couldn't be more night and day. And this is really the spark that helped that go forward.
Jeff was really disappointed that Adam Bomb didn't win this one.
Hey, Joe, you can go fuck yourself. But
Wow.
Bret Hart with the injury earlier in the day, so you don't know if he's going to make it out. Really smart storytelling. Mm-hmm. They have Bret injured, and they have the Japanese Tenryu and Kabuki beat up Luger in the back. So when the buzzer goes off and no one comes out, you don't know if Bret's injured. You don't know if Luger's injured. It ends up just being Bastion Booger, and Vince gives the reason that he had a really bad indigestion.
oh, God damn it.
And, of course, one of my favorite things in the Royal Rumble is former partners unite to fight.
Oh,
And we all know in 1994, if you remember it, later on in the match, it's Shawn Marty right in the middle, hockey style, beating the piss out of each other.
I mean, you would see that later, down the years. It never gets old. I love this.
It was also never done as well as right here. Mm-hmm. There was such history, and the crowd remembered it.
Joe was so torn.
Joe was torn like a motherfucker.
Lies.
He went towards Marty though.
No.
Well, obviously they won a no selling together.
That's true.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
You go back and listen to that on SoundCloud and iTunes.
I did not.
But
I gave it back to him.
So, what would this lead to?
WrestleMania 10, the infamous dual winners brings dual title shots, with both Luger and Hart getting title matches that night. Bret also having to wrestle his brother Owen, who had turned on him.
Which is a damn good match.
Luger gets the first match, doesn't win it. Bret gets the second match and does beat Yokozuna. And it's pretty much them saying, okay, the Luger experiment didn't work, and Bret, sorry for what we did to you last year. Here's a mulligan. Let's see if it works better this year.
I like there's like a little controversy about Luger not winning it.
Yeah.
And it's because the rumors are that he was out at a bar that that night, the night before, and was like, yeah, I'm winning the title tomorrow. Word got out, and then they're like, Vince says, no, give it to the goddamn hitman.
Yeah. If true, that's a hell of a dumb move on Luger's part.
But Luger's come out and said, like, I was not at a bar that night. I was at home, resting for my match tomorrow. But
It's a lot of... And, of course, the infamous ladder match. So, the WrestleMania... Rumble played a huge impact on WrestleMania that year. So...
What, we didn't get a ladder match between Marty and Shawn?
No.
That would have been interesting, though. I don't think it would have been too bad either.
No, it would have been good.
Someone might not have got paralyzed, but who knows?
But with that, as you'll notice with a lot of things on this list, we need to move back to the 2000s.
Yes.
We're going back to 2000. With number 7!
2002.
Phillips Arena, Atlanta, Georgia.
Now, this is a really fun one for me for a couple of reasons. First is the early part of the match and The Undertaker owns the yard. Eliminates 7 guys. One of 2 people in this match to eliminate 7.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who eliminated The Undertaker? This monumental badass of epic proportions.
I feel like he was tough enough or something.
Well, here's the thing. He eliminates the Hardys and Lita
That's not
twice.
what I asked. I asked who
Yeah.
eliminated
Who
the
eliminated-
And
Undertaker.
after he eliminates the Hardys for the second time, some young punk named Maven drop kicks him from behind, sending him over the top rope.
Wait, are you telling me some QVC host eliminated Undertaker?
Not to his better judgment. Because here's the thing. Maven eliminates Undertaker. It's a great moment. It's hilarious. It's amazing. And the crowd pops like crazy because nobody thought that was going to happen.
True.
Then Maven dies.
Yes, he does.
Undertaker puts Maven through so much hell, he wishes he never heard of MTV.
It's true.
The chair shot he takes to the head is sickening.
But I think you're underselling it too, because that part is awesome. And I love the whole. My favorite part of the whole thing, by the way, is when he takes them up to the concession stand
Puts him through the popcorn.
but then grabs some popcorn and eats it. That's
As
my
you
favorite.
know, there's shattered glass inside of there somewhere.
And possibly blood from Maven.
Yes.
And Undertaker does not care. But also, I like the very beginning when Rikishi and Goldust. And Goldust gets a hell of a pop for
Yes, he
return.
does.
But of course, Mr. Perfect returns. Mm-hmm. The Godfather and Val Venus return. And this is the first Royal Rumble after the Invasion flop. They have such a stacked fucking roster here. I mean, you've got The Rock, you've got Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Kane, all in the Royal Rumble match.
Well, think about what you had at the end of that match. You had Austin, you had Triple H, you had Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle, and Mr. Perfect.
Yep.
Holy shit!
It was fairly obvious who was winning because Triple H had just returned from injury. I mean, Stevie Wonder could have seen who was winning this thing. But low key, really good, funny part of the match is Austin and Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Facing
yeah,
off.
you still what I was about to go to.
And then the Hurricane comes in and tries to do a double chokeslam. And
And they both look at
they
him
just
like, what
look
the hell
at
are you-
each other like, what?
Who the hell is this guy? It did not work out well for the Hurricane, but he
No, it
did fly. And I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there because it's Austin, Perfect, Triple H, and Angle at the Final Four.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, I couldn't ask for much of a better Final Four here.
No, it's good.
Especially in 2002. But yeah, Triple H getting the win. Austin and Taker both eliminating 7 guys. It's a really good Rumble.
Yeah,
It's
no.
a really good Rumble. So what would Triple H benefit from this win here? Going to WrestleMania?
Well, he would go on to WrestleMania and win the undisputed World Wrestling Federation Championship from Chris Jericho in a match that nobody remembers because it followed Hogan versus Rock.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
And this is one of the weird Rumbles that, besides the title match, nothing from the Rumble really meant anything to the WrestleMania card. Like, there were no feuds started in the Rumble that carried over. Yeah, it was just kind of like a standalone Rumble.
The only feud that came out of this was Maven versus Taker that
Yeah.
lasted, what, like 2 months?
Yeah, none of it went well for Maven.
Yeah.
But no, it's a perfectly fun Rumble, but yeah, kind of inconsequential.
Well, I will say Maven did beat Undertaker for the hardcore title.
this is true.
So, and besides that,
Well, this
Because
was...
the hardcore title meant so fucking much.
I want to say this could be one... Well, 2000 maybe. But could be one of the first Rumbles that you knew who the winner would be via Triple H quad injury, and then he's coming back.
and that pop he got.
And that pop he got, yeah. And then the pop he got when the first time he returned to announce that he's going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Madison
was
Square
winning.
Garden, it was blew up. And then it was one of those given, okay, he's
Yeah.
winning the title.
Yeah, there was really no doubt here.
I mean, winning the Rumble, yeah. And the title.
Speaking of times where it was just a complete no-brainer on who's going to win the Rumble, let's go to our next Royal Rumble.
Number 6.
1990.
Well, I beg to differ. There were definitely 2 options I think that could have won this thing.
I mean, here's the thing. It was the year 1990.
Yes.
Was there a man named Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
Was he in the match?
Yes.
He's got a flex.
Hogan must pose.
I fucking love that. Pretty genius. So tell us about the 1990 Rumble.
A really fun Rumble. This is before the title the winner would earn title match at WrestleMania. At this point, it was really just still a fun little gimmick match that didn't have a lot behind it, but it was fun to watch. And so, yeah, Hulk Hogan, the World Wrestling Federation champion in it, but also Intercontinental Champion Ultimate Warrior in it as well.
This is true.
And of course, everybody was thinking, God, what if Hogan and Warrior faced off? And it did happen.
I mean, if you want to talk about stacked fucking cards for the Rumble,
If you're looking at talent,
let me go. Just list off some random names here. Ted DiBiase, who starts the match. Your number 4 entrance is Jake Roberts. Number 5 is Randy Savage. Number 6 is Piper. Number 8 is Bret Hart. Number 10 is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. 11's Andre the fucking Giant. 17 Snuka. Earthquakes at 19. Warriors 21. Martel at 22. Santana at 23. Honky Tonk. Hogan. Shawn Michaels. And then the last 3 are Rick Rude, Hercules, who was okay, and then Mr. Fucking Perfect at 30.
there's a lot of talent in this Rumble. I mean, it's ridiculous. Another fun part besides the Hogan Warrior part is the early beginning. Like, okay, in 1989, Ted DiBiase had bought number 30.
Yes.
From Slick. So this year, he pulls number 1, and they won't let him do anything about it. And so he comes in at number 1, and he proceeds to plow through the first couple, but then his hated rival, Jake Roberts, comes in at number 4.
Joe's pretty happy about the first 2 going out because it's Coco Beware and Marty Jannetty.
Hey, I like Coco.
But Jannetty.
Fucking Jannetty can get eliminated. Yeah.
And then Savage comes out at number 5, and of course him and DiBiase have this history, right? This feud.
Yeah.
But Macho King is a heel now, and DiBiase starts paying him off in the match. Get Jake and get him out, I'll pay you. I'll just keep hurting him, I will give you money. So all of a sudden Savage is like a de facto thug for DiBiase in the early part of the Rumble to protect DiBiase. And it's a lot of fun to watch.
Which works well because he does last almost 45 minutes in the match.
Yeah, DiBiase does the Iron Man gimmick in this Rumble. Had a really good showing. It's fun when Piper and Bad News Brown start their feud. Dusty Rhodes and Savage, of course, have a little something, so they're in there together. Jake and DiBiase. Of course, what did I say about 94? Former tag team partners must unite and fight. We get that with Tito Santana and Rick Martel here.
I love their
Strike Force.
Andre was great here. I loved it. Him in the Rumble was always an interesting factor because he was never going to win.
No.
But you had to find an inventive way to get him out.
This time it was Demolition double teaming him. As they were feuding with Andre and Haku over the tag belts at the time.
Absolutely.
Rick Rude jumping the gun and deciding, fuck, I'm going to enter early. So he does. And then it's kind of fun watching Hogan against Rude and Perfect at the end.
That's a great final 3.
Yeah, it is.
That's a fucking great final 3.
The Diesel push in this match was Warrior and Hogan.
Both
Yeah,
getting 6
yeah.
eliminations. The only other person to get more than 2 in this Rumble was DiBiase. He got 3.
Yeah.
So Jesus,
there's not really an outcome because again, the winner Hogan didn't get the match at WrestleMania.
But this Rumble actually did have a lot of implications for the Rumble.
Excellent.
It gave you the Hogan Warrior standoff that would lead to the main event of WrestleMania 6. It gave you Piper and Bad News Brown. It gave you Savage and Dusty. It gave you Demolition and the Colossal Connection. It gave you Roberts and DiBiase, if I said that already.
So it's almost like it did more without having the implication.
Yeah.
A lot of the other matches have done with having the implication.
Yeah.
Because they had to be more inventive back then.
Well, and then only back then they just booked better. They had things they had things mapped out.
So, I mean, this was also the start of them utilizing the Rumble as an actual booking tool.
Yeah.
Because they really hadn't done that in the first 2, obviously, with 88 and 89.
Not really, no.
But this was where they were like, wait, we can actually use this to our advantage.
I mean, outside of the slight dissension between the Mega Powers and 89, you're right.
Yeah. But I mean, like, nothing really came out for Big John Studd.
No.
But, I love 90. It's a great one. It was a tough one for me when I was voting on my list with this in 91. The 2 Hogan wins. I think this one worked a little bit more for me because of the final 3.
I like this one better, so I'm glad I made the list. They're both good, but I do.
I had it number 9 for me.
Yeah.
I had this one actually at number 6 on my list. Corey, you had
About 6.
about 6 there as well.
6.
So, a good start to this list. Halfway to happy hour here. Time for us to get a little recap.
Number 10.
The year 2000.
Number 9.
2004.
Number 8.
1994, just before the Monday Night War Stories, available here on SoundCloud and iTunes.
Number 7.
2002.
Number 6.
1990. You'll do things in the 90s you never thought you'd do.
Listen, kid.
The Q, available on SoundCloud and iTunes. So, before we get to our top 5, one little quick aside we wanted to have here. So, since about the year, let's say 2011,
Okay.
because I actually like the 2010 Rumble. Sean is great in that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
And Edge's surprise return.
2010 is a good rumble.
Yeah.
After that, it's the drizzling shits, kind of.
It hits a 5-year lull, a little bit of a.
It doesn't help that I think, what, is it 11, I think? The announcers?
No, that's 12.
All right, so 12. And 20, let's go back. 2011 had it, they thought, hey, let's do 40. I like that premise of 40. Just the talent they used for that 40.
Which is really sad because the beginning's good.
To me, it's all about the middle section. That's what kills it.
Yeah.
The Cena Swoggle,
Hornswoggle carrying the whole match.
yeah.
After you get rid of the new Nexus, it just goes downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tells a great early story. Picks up a little towards the end, but you knew who was going to win. And I'm sorry. I don't care if it's he almost done it when Santino's one of the final two. It's a shitty Rumble.
Yes, this is very true. Then there was 2012. And
That one had the 3 announcers. Plus, it also had Ricardo and Foley doing the comedy.
And
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah, and Karma. I mean, there was just so many stupid.
They did
fucking gimmicks.
in 12 they did a lot more of a surprise
But it was surprises.
entrances, but the surprises were like
It's one nobody wanted.
like Karma was like, oh, that's cool. Well, that's a waste.
well, to be fair,
Michael Cole, really?
I did like Karma being in there because this was back when I thought Karma was gonna stick to the "I have to legally inform you that she kills bitches dead" routine and not have the whole thing that happened.
And
after
not
the crying.
lying about an abortion that never happened.
Yeah, and then there was the
Or
end where
miscarriage or-
the wrong person truly won.
In hindsight, I disagree though, because in hindsight, that gave you Daniel Bryan.
This is
so,
true,
I mean,
but Jericho deserved it.
he did.
2013.
It was just Cena's obviously going to win and take on Rock for the title.
Yeah.
So
This was this one is red lights, blinking lights.
So you mean 2014? Hey, Batista's back.
Oh yeah, Batista was obviously winning, and of course, as soon as Daniel Bryan does not show up, I know you can't stand late career Rey Mysterio. I felt so bad for
This
Rey
was
that
there was something in my heart that just grew.
I loved this moment.
Oh, Rey Mysterio getting booed maliciously.
At 30.
for nothing, but for no reason of his.
I get it, but I loved it just because this is the beginning and during the Daniel Bryan push. Daniel Bryan's facing Bray Wyatt, and we're at the point now in WWE where if you have a match on the card, you're not in the Rumble.
Yeah,
And Daniel Bryan had the first match of the night
maybe it might have a chance of getting back into this thing.
because it's the first match of the night, and he is becoming the true underdog that he is right now.
And you guys, okay, full disclosure, at home, you have no idea how bad people in this room wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
it's not even a question
And
at that point.
I tried to tell everybody he's not even in the Rumble, and nobody would listen to me.
But see that's why it kind of. This is a shitty Rumble, but for us in the room, it was more exciting because like, here comes Bryan,
Yeah.
here comes Bryan, here, fucking Rey Mysterio at 30, and then he gets the heel boo.
Oh yeah, no, they.
Philly eats him alive. It is brilliant. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh. It was Pittsburgh that year.
Yeah.
They went 2 straight years in Pennsylvania. They went Pittsburgh one year. The next year they go to Philly. And you remember the Boo Birds we had the year before for Ray?
Batista,
No, or Batista and Ray.
nothing
Yeah.
compared to what happened next year.
Then, Lowell Roman wins.
Even The Rock couldn't get him cheered.
The look on The Rock's face is when the boos happen. And it's like, wait, are you booing The Rock?
He's like, boop, abort, I need to get out of here.
Can I do a Disney movie? And then there's 2016.
2015
Oh, yeah.
is funny that it's they do the classic, which they do almost in every Royal Rumble now, is someone gets knocked out of the ring and then they're sleeping, as they put it.
Oh, Roman's leaving.
But no, it was Rusev.
Oh, yeah.
and everyone was like, "Let's go, Rusev!" Like they face turned Rusev that one night and one night only.
Because they wanted him to
They
win
wanted him so bad.
Well, I mean, not only that, I love the dichotomy of in 2014, Roman Reigns was the face of salvation.
Yes.
Because they didn't want Batista to win so much. Let's root for Roman. And then just 1 year later, Roman's Batista, and anybody else was getting cheered.
Well, this was also the Kane and Big Show.
Dominate at the end. Oh,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
They just start throwing out everybody the fans have open.
And Daniel Bryan's in this one. He gets eliminated. 15th. Bray Wyatt gets eliminated. Ziggler's eliminated.
Oh.
The crowd that wanted the people to win.
You can tell that Final Four where there's like Ziggler and Dean Ambrose when the fans still liked them.
Yeah, there was like nobody the fans wanted to
It was
win.
like Dean, Roman,
Show and
Kane, and Show knocks Dean out like that.
They literally
Tosses
just
them
toss
out.
him over the top like a sack of garbage.
Like this, I think they were chanting "We want refunds."
Yeah.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, this was is the worst Rumble match I've ever seen.
It's
Now, having said
up
that,
there.
2016 I liked. It was obvious as fuck who was winning.
Triple H won, but
But I
it's
liked it.
obvious.
But they also kind of tried to retread 99 with the... Well, actually, they did.
Well, yeah, they just
completely
completely
retreaded 99 with the take Roman out like Austin, and then he comes back. And
However, I mean, it gave us, and we're a year into it now, the 1 year television title reign of Rusev.
Oh, yeah.
Loved that.
Well, also
Yeah!
also this match, besides one upcoming on this 10 count, had the WWE Championship belt on the line because once again Vince McMahon's in town and he is the
Screw
authority.
Roman.
Screw you, Roman.
Which I thought had added a nice little touch that year.
It did
was
have a
fun.
nice touch, but it's just one of those. Okay, so Roman's gonna win? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Triple H is winning.
Triple H wins.
Yeah, which was and plus the AJ debut. So I mean, I thought I liked that one better than the previous 5.
Oh yeah. Like when the one with Roman winning is the
worst.
shit.
It's the worst
one I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would put that at probably number 1.
I know you hate 99 as well, but you would put that...
To me, they're 1 and 2, and I don't know if I would subject myself to this, but I would actually have to go back and watch those two to figure out which one's number 1 and which one's number 2.
I think it has to be 15 because of the fact that your Final Four is 2/3 the Shield, Kane and Big Show, and the Vets destroy
Dean, it's
Dean
terrible.
and Roman
Yeah.
until Big Show comes, until Rock comes out. And,
It's terrible.
yeah.
The whole thing's terrible. Let's go back to good ones.
And we'll start the top 5 of our good lists with
Number 5.
2005.
I love this Royal Rumble.
Yep.
I voted it really high. It's the year Batista wins. There was a little bit of confusion towards the end when Cena and Batista get eliminated at the same time, replicating the Bret Hart Lex Luger debacle in '94, bringing out an angry, pissed off Vince McMahon who blows both quads getting into the ring.
I've never seen a injury so easily happen to
Right?
someone.
Oh,
Like
so
when you think
amazing.
of blowing out your quads, you think like Triple H's spinebuster move, and you see his quad move, while Vince is just trying to get into the
He's
ring
trying to
and
slide into the ring and he
pop.
he's so unathletic.
You know
he
why?
hits both of his legs on the ring.
He hits both his legs on the apron, the hardest part of the ring.
Is it the hardest part of the ring?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Really? You haven't heard that? Well,
No,
they say it all the
I
time
know.
nowadays.
Also, this, first of all, it's 2005, so full disclosure. This roster is juiced to the fucking gills with HGH running rampant in this Rumble. Benoit and Eddie Guerrero started out.
This is one of my favorite starts to a Rumble because, I mean, it's our guys.
Yeah. And then Daniel Puder comes out, the Tough Enough Cocky winner
And gets murdered.
by both Guerrero and Benoit, but then holy shit, Hardcore Holly comes out at number 4, and they proceed to commit wars against crime.
Can we
Crimes against
can
humanity.
you bring up Daniel Puder? Because I don't know if we will ever talk about him again.
This is it. They beat the living fuck out of this guy and mercifully eliminate him.
Daniel Puder is the Tough Enough winner
Yep.
for that year. and I think he's a former
Well, he's a wannabe MMA fighter.
wannabe MMA fighter. So there's one match on SmackDown that you can look up on the network.
Well, it's not even a match; it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Him versus Angle.
Angle's beat up and hurt.
Yep,
He catches
and
him in a Kimura, isn't it?
Yeah, and Peter puts him in a Kimura, and legit's gonna break his arm
The ref counts the 3 as Peter has his back on
because Peter
mat.
isn't selling the point of you gotta
put over.
put over Angle,
And
buddy.
that got him heat, especially with Hardcore Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a rookie
Yep.
in the WWE, you do not want to have heat with Bob Holly because he will stiff the fuck out of you and pretty much try to end your career.
There is a moment in this beginning part where there is a contest between Hardcore Holly and Chris Benoit in who does a louder knife edge chop.
To Peter.
Yes.
Eddie decides to join in as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But you see Eddie's face, he is giddy as a schoolgirl watching this.
This is like a rite of passage for Mr. Peter.
This
and
was
he
the-
doesn't pass.
No, this is fucking bullying. This is hazing.
This is old school though. This is what they did in the 70s.
Oh
and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Unless you're Daniel Pruder,
You had it right.
You don't have a chest.
Rite of passage. It's a tough business.
Did it work?
No, it didn't. He quit like a bitch. Well, he didn't quit. They got rid of him, but I mean, they sent him down to OVW, then just got rid of him because he sucked. Later on, Muhammad Hassan comes out,
Oh my goodness.
and we pretty much stopped the Rumble to all gang up on the Muslim.
See, he's
He's eliminated in 54 seconds.
Here's what I like. So if you go to Wikipedia and you look up all the Rumbles, and you scroll down, they give you the order of entrance and elimination, and who got eliminated. By who
eliminated him, yeah.
Well, here's who eliminated Muhammad Hassan: Chris Benoit, Edge, Jericho, Shelton Benjamin, Luther Reigns, and Booker T.
Yeah.
Basically everyone who's still in the match.
Everybody, they all just stopped, circled him, and yeah.
Funny enough, Muhammad Hassan does get an elimination in the match.
Yeah.
Because Scotty 2 Hotty tries to come out to the ring and he just gets...
This Rumble's also good for another thing. For all of the people who forget, and they do forget these days, they just want to talk about 2014's aborted, terrible run he had. Batista was molten fucking over in 2005.
Yep.
This is true.
I mean, holy fuck, this guy was over. One of my favorite parts at the end, Evolution is still a thing, right? Mm-hmm. Flair's in the ring with Batista. They're bullying up on someone. Batista turns around. Flair tries to grab him by the back of the head to eliminate him and falls down because Batista just doesn't move. And he's like, whoa, 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 starts begging off because he got caught. That's a lot of fun.
This has one of my favorite eliminations. Gene Snitsky and Paul London.
Yes.
Paul London goes after. I think there's like a crossbody on Snitsky. Snitsky ducks. London goes over the top rope, grabs the rope, stands there, and he starts running along the apron. But Snitsky clotheslines him, and London does a backflip over onto the ground.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That is freaking
Reminds
brilliant.
me of why when he was in Ring of Honor in 2002, the fans would chant every time he wrestled, "Please, London, don't die." Because he just did that shit all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time in WWE he actually did crap like that. And boy, he picked a good time. Cena coming in. It's clear he was going to be the guy soon. Angle stealing a spot from Nunzio because he's pissed off he didn't win the title earlier in the night. And that starts the Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle stuff at WrestleMania that year. This is a big Rumble, too. I mean, this is a really fun Rumble.
So,
Batista wins.
Batista, because they have to restart the match
Yeah.
after they both get eliminated.
Because they weren't supposed to do the Brett
Yeah.
Luger.
Yeah, so this had my favorite moment, elimination, but this started for me watching the elimination and having my least favorite elimination. Because when Batista throws Cena over, Cena lands wrong, and his foot gets caught on the ground, and then his whole body falls onto his leg. I don't think he doesn't get hurt from it.
But it's awkward
It
looking.
just looks awkward, and it's part of that in that 2005 to
Don't try this at
2009
home.
era. Please don't try this at home. And it's just him landing on his leg. I'm like, my knees buckling as I watch
it's
that.
terrible, but it's a good Rumble. I like that one.
So what's the aftermath from this guy?
Well, Batista goes on to beat Triple H at WrestleMania for the world title that he earned in this match, the shot. Cena goes on to win the world title on SmackDown. Like I said, Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels started their little feud that would culminate at WrestleMania here in the Rumble. Other than that, there's not a lot of matches at Mania that came out of here other than those.
But that's really important, setting up the future for WWE at this point, because it really sets up your future big time players in Batista and John Cena.
Yeah.
And one is still around,
Yeah.
being big time.
He is
That's right.
he was the face that runs the place. He was. Not anymore.
Nah.
But it wasn't able to crack too high up on this list.
Yep.
Because we now must move backwards in time for our next encounter.
Woo! Number 4.
2001. Damn it, Deborah.
2001, New Orleans, Louisiana. This is a pretty star-studded Rumble itself. This Rumble is history. Right off the top of your head without looking, can you guys tell me why this Royal Rumble is historical?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Dead radio is not good, so I will
No, it's not. Please don't.
Drew Carey's in it?
No. The Stone Cold Steve Austin wins, and this is his third win, making him the most Rumble wins ever. He had been tied with Hogan and HBK for 2 apiece, but now he's clear number 1 with 3 wins. Kane on a path of destruction in this Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he had 11 eliminations at that time.
It sounds impressive, and it was,
Yeah.
but if you watch the Rumble, he just basically eliminates all of Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah.
But say,
Raven, like Saturn,
Al Snow, I mean, we're talking...
Crash,
Steve Blackman,
Drew Carey.
Grandmaster Sexay, Honky Tonk Man.
He gets rid of everybody prior to all the big names start coming
Yep.
out.
He does get one big name, though. He does get The Rock.
Yeah.
He also goes damn near an hour at 53 minutes and 46 seconds.
2001 is to me is Kane's prime. I mean,
Yeah.
he was jacked. He was young. He was mobile. He was
Young? No.
Well, he was young.
Well, yeah. Well, I think I've seen him as a dentist
Oh
somewhere.
yeah, but he wasn't like 50 like he
That's
is now.
true. Mid-30s.
He was in his prime.
Let's hope mid-30s.
Yeah, he was mid-30s in there. He was in his prime. This is a really good Rumble. A little hardcore. Austin bleeding.
Yeah.
A lot. It comes down to Kane and Austin in a really fun ending. You just assumed automatically that it was Austin and Rock it was coming down to, right? And everybody just thought that.
Yeah.
That was a nice swerve.
Yeah, to have it be Kane and Austin was a lot of fun.
And I want to say this is the match that kind of established Kane, because prior to he's just Undertaker's baby brother, and now with this he got the Diesel push.
Yeah.
11 eliminations, almost an hour in the Rumble.
They replicated the opening. They replicated 1989 by having Matt and Jeff start against
And
each
that's
other.
actually a really fun start to that match.
Like Axe and Smash did in 89. Painful elimination for Jeff Hardy. They're like on the top rope, and it looks like there's supposed to be some sort of superplex thingy with Matt and Jeff. And they're both supposed to both go out, but Jeff, for some reason, like something happens and he's not going with him. So Matt has to grab him, what looks to be by the hair.
Yeah.
And just brings him with him.
Oh, it's not fun.
Painful as fuck looking.
Yeah, that was not the way to go out. But again, it's a very important Rumble, and again, Kane's one of the big stories here. But yeah, not to be undersold. Austin getting the record third.
Besides Austin winning and going on to Mania for the title match, honestly, not a lot of WrestleMania ramifications in terms of big matches. Yeah, because Triple H wasn't in the Rumble and Angle. So yeah, but it was super fun. Big names. And
And really the most important thing is what is set up with Austin going forward here.
yeah, and this was a fun time because you're right before the crest. Like, I think we can all agree, whether we like that shit or not, their business and everything peaked at WrestleMania 17.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it did.
And then it was
yeah.
a downfall.
Yeah.
So they're almost there at the peak, right? It's a lot of fun to watch at that point.
But alas, it could not break the medal round because it is time for that bronze medal match.
Number 3.
2008.
We're back in Madison Square Garden.
This is probably the most fun I have ever had watching a Rumble.
I watched this one live. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as you did at the time. I do appreciate it more on rewatching. Because it starts off, I mean, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
That's kind of amazing.
That's awesome. And then Michael Buffer doing the introductions. It's got the legends. It's got Rowdy Piper and Superfly Jimmy Snuka
In the garden.
in the garden,
Snooker.
recreating their rivalry. It's got Triple H running rampant at the end, looking like a surefire winner until number 30 hits and the surprise of surprises.
Yeah, let's just say this was maybe the last time until this year so far. We did not know the winner. It was the first time and last time kind of in 08 that we did not know who the winner would be 2 weeks prior to the Rumble.
The only one I would say 10 because I didn't know about 10 ahead of time. I will say that.
I can't remember if I did or not with Edge. I
Who was
can't.
it?
Edge.
I can't
I
remember.
don't remember
You
that
seem
being
to think
leaked.
it was leaked.
I think that in
very
10
well-
it was leaked
Yeah.
because of
It could just be that I don't remember it.
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing it, yeah.
I think it was leaked. If not, I knew because of the fact I think I saw it on like a dirt sheet. It's like Edge is backstage. I'm like, well, he's gonna win.
Yeah,
I don't remember
But-
seeing that, but yeah, this was the true.
they did a good job on this
Shot.
one.
This is the true. So, as Corey was saying, Triple H, surefire, he's gonna be winning it. Number 30. His time is now.
John Cena. Supposed to be gone another 6 months.
Yeah.
Tor Pec.
Completely torn pectoral muscle in October.
October. He's out 9 months. He's back in 3. I was watching this with Ricky, and we were both jumping. And my old roommate, who wasn't a wrestling fan, just looked at us like, "What the what? Why are you guys marking out?"
Yeah.
And we were marking out because it was fucking John Cena 3 months via the 9 months he was supposed to be out.
Yeah. It shocked me. I was sitting there like, holy fuck.
Because I was like, okay, so who's the big challenger here for Triple H's match? Maybe Batista.
I'm trying to remember, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. It's really, it's really getting to me that I can't remember. But I remember there was a rumor that there could have been a particular mystery person in this Rumble. And that's who I thought number 30 was going to be. But for the life of me, I can't remember who this person is.
I mean, it was
It was not John Cena.
7 years
I
ago.
can I can tell you that.
9 years ago. We couldn't.
And
I remember
I'm
giving
trying
some credit.
so hard to remember who this person was.
But that was just absolutely perfectly done.
Yeah, looking at this, the people in the match, it was mid-carders galore.
Yeah,
the
no, it
entire
was-
match.
But you also had some up and comers that were kind of getting their teeth in this match. CM Punk had a long run. John Morrison nearly went 30 minutes.
yeah, but I'm just looking at it. And it's like you got maybe
Cody did well.
in
Maga.
my mind the only people that would have won this match, not knowing Cena's back. Taker, Michaels, H, Batista.
Yeah,
and those are
that's
your
it.
4 big names at that time.
That was it.
But, having Taker and Michaels come out, the crowd popped for that. It was like, oh shit, it's the finale from last to
Yeah, about to say
beginning this one now.
Yeah, from beginning to end, it never was boring. I mean, it always had something. It had great pacing to it. A lot of guys went 20 plus, and nobody had a ton of eliminations. I mean, H had 6.
Yep.
Cena had 4. Batista had 4. That's about it. Taker had 3.
Kane had 3.
Yeah, but it was a really even pace Rumble for something you thought was going to be, little Triple H wins, and then you have that moment with John Cena. And again, not the biggest Cena fan in the world. Respect the guy, but not a big Cena fan. Even I had to mark out for that. That was fucking amazing.
That was one night where nobody, I mean, I'm sure there were a couple in the building, but you couldn't hear them. the boos, because it was such a shock, and it was.
I don't think there was any boos.
That was the
I don't
last
think
time.
you couldn't hear it. Like that was like, because we're in the time period of Cena right now that it's getting old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is the time period for the past 8 years now. Like Cena, go heel. Cena, go heel. And I want to say this is the time period where this was one of the main years of go heel because we're getting tired of your stick. But 3 months. He got that. He has probably one of the biggest pops in WWE
And that
history.
That the two hands down, that look up, like, yeah, I'm back, bitches.
And points to the pack, and he's
Yep.
okay.
Let's give credit where credit's due too. Triple H selling his music hitting
Oh yeah.
was huge too.
Oh,
JR?
everybody just stopped. It's like,
Oh my God! By God!
By God Almighty!
And Triple H is like, you are not back.
Yeah, you got to be fucking kidding me! I'm about to win this thing.
My time. It was supposed to be my time. Nope. John Cena's time was now, and he was able to bring it home in what was the third best Royal Rumble of all time.
What's the
Fallout?
What's the fallout?
Well, that's true. We do need to go. to the
Well,
ball.
Cena wins and gets his title shot, but again, it's a triple threat with Triple H as well. So that's always. I hated the years where the Rumble winner ends up in a triple threat. It's kind of prostituted.
With the guy
away.
in the second place.
Yeah.
Who?
Other than that,
Orton, right?
Orton.
Yeah.
Other than that, this is another one of those manias where there's not a lot of WrestleMania or Rumbles where there's not a lot of WrestleMania ramifications.
Well, I think there's like two.
Yeah,
Michaels and
Michaels and Flair ended up at Mania that year.
was it? Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a year too
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
It's kind of fun because you get one beat every year for 4
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, Batista ends up in just a pointless brand versus brand match at Mania. So
JBL?
with Umaga.
Umaga.
Yeah.
Umanga.
So I mean, there's not a lot of WrestleMania ramifications other than Cena winning.
But I have a feeling this match will have a lot to do with the match that comes in at number 2, the 2007 Royal Rumble, the year previous.
I love 2007 Royal Rumble.
Again, this is really tough between these two in particular for me.
The first tri-branded Royal Rumble, as ECW is now part of it as well.
Back in San Antonio, because they love San Antonio for fucking Rumbles.
One of my favorite 1-2 combinations, Ric Flair and Finlay. Just two old men beating the fuck out of each other.
Do they have any history?
Yeah, not
Just a little bit?
A little bit. Kane choke slam eliminating Sabu through a table on the outside.
By the way, who set up that table?
Sabu.
Yeah.
It was a fun memory for me.
Never set up your own table, folks.
And of course, it comes down to what?
So, Shawn Michaels comes in at 23, does a great job, eliminates a lot of guys,
Cleaning DX house.
and it's time for number 30.
Boom.
The dong hits.
Well,
Here comes Taker.
I want to say the setup for Taker is one of those obvious ones because we knew Taker was coming because
One
they
man
announced
seen him,
him.
yeah.
Seen him, yeah. But it was that
Great Khali.
the Great Khali was running house. He was
He
like,
laid out everyone.
He was like getting these semi. He got the diesel push in this one because he had
He got
7 eliminations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were like bodies all around the ring. It was
and
ridiculous.
there's bodies everywhere, and Cole selling up. Who can stop this man? And dong.
One of those classic times where it's super obvious, but it's fun. You don't care. It's like, oh, this is going to be cool. I like what they're doing.
So he comes out, and Taker is just running.
What's the one thing I hate, though? They did here.
What's that?
I hate it in the Rumble where Undertaker comes out and they turn all the lights off. There is a match going on in the ring.
This is
Yeah.
true.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
But he comes out, and the last 4 is, if I remember right, Shawn Taker,
And Rated RKO.
Rated RKO.
Yep.
So we have this awesome tag team match.
Yeah.
And Rated RKO kind of turn on each other and they get eliminated. And it ends up being Shawn and Taker. And they go like 10.
Yeah, this is the first time where there was like an extended ending period to a Rumble.
And
I
it's
wanted this to go longer.
Yeah.
Who did it? This
I mean, it turned into a match. It was almost not a Rumble. It was like a fucking match.
Because it's not the first time we've seen Shawn and Taker, obviously. I mean, Monday Night War Stories available here at SoundCloud and iTunes. I'm sure we'll see that a couple times. But
This isn't even the first time they've wrestled at a Rumble.
I feel like this was. I want to say this is the first time at a Rumble it was the rebirth Shawn. It was the new found Jesus Shawn against Taker.
And it was it's that post badass Taker that you're getting into that prime run Taker.
I think I was gonna say I think this was Taker's prime. This is the beginning of the prime because from 07 to maybe 11 or 12.
No.
No.
I mean, if you're talking for like full run, like where he doesn't just leave,
Yeah.
here through like the Michaels match at 9.
9.
Yeah.
In 09.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just some great years.
Full
for
run, yeah. It's full run.
Yeah.
Like
But
now
yes.
to 09 is
Yeah.
just unbelievable Taker.
And these again, they're so different than when they first started, and
Drastically.
this is just the crowd's going ape shit for this.
Well, it is in San Antonio,
Yeah.
Shawn's hometown. They want him to win like crazy.
I mean, Taker no slouch with the crowd either.
I will know, but I was rooting like crazy for Shawn.
I
of
was rooting for
course.
Shawn too.
I was rooting for Taker, obviously, and my guy won.
He did. He
And
did.
I was like, "Holy shit! Could you imagine if these guys were doing this for a full match?"
Well, maybe we'll see that.
Also, this one had a record broken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it would be?
Which one's that?
He's added more to it now, but this was Kane's
Oh, this is where Kane beats the
11
elimination rec-
straight,
Yeah, or the 11 straight Rumble.
11 straight Rumble. He's up to 15 now.
15 or 16?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's somehow made. Yeah,
He's not scheduled to be in this one yet.
yeah.
But
I think he will be, just
he's
to
got the
keep that
record
streak
for
alive.
most consecutive, and I believe he has the record for most all-time eliminations.
He does now.
Yes,
He beat Shawn.
He beat
for it.
Shawn. And that's, again, Kane, no slouch of a career there.
Oh, no.
But no, so Taker wins.
Yes.
What is the implications going forward from this Rumble?
For this one, well, Taker goes on to WrestleMania to fight Batista for the world title and wins it.
Not a bad match.
No, a great match, actually. Shawn goes on to WrestleMania to face John Cena for the WWE title. Does not win it. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't supposed to be in that match.
Shawn got the Triple H spot
Yeah.
because H hurt himself prior to the Rumble.
Tore the quad.
Tore his other quad. And then Vince is like, fuck, what do we do? Oh, okay, let's put Shawn. Shawn's reliable. And we'll put him against Cena.
Imagine
To give
saying
him
that
that
10
rub.
years earlier. Shawn's reliable.
Shit.
Also, hey, fun little trivia note for the people out there. What match was Shawn supposed to have at WrestleMania 23 that ended up got put on the back burner to do Cena?
Ooh, I remember, but I'm blanking right
I don't
now.
think so. I don't think I know.
King Booker.
Yeah.
This would be Raw versus SmackDown, Shawn and King Booker.
I actually would have liked that. I think it would have
And
been a
King
good
Booker
match.
got put in the Money in the Bank match instead.
So, a lot of ramifications coming off this one, but
Yeah.
most of them good.
Yeah, no, can't complain.
But it could not top them all.
No.
It couldn't be the last match standing. But before we get to the gold medal winner, we must look back onto the Rumble's past. Recount.
Number 10.
The year 2000.
Number 9.
2004.
No funny slogans?
I don't really have a lot for this.
Okay. Number 8.
1994. I mean, it's just a 2 years too early to be in the pay-per-view War Stories available on SoundCloud and iTunes.
Number 7.
2002. Just a little bit beyond where he's covered on the Monday Night War Stories.
Number 6.
1990.
Number 5.
2005.
Number 4.
2001. We don't get to cover that one, do we?
2001?
2001?
No.
No, we don't get to cover that one, do we? Monday Night War Stories. Look here in SoundCloud and iTunes. He's just staring at me.
I just want to see if you broke it. Yeah, we do actually.
Oh, we didn't cover that one!
All
Yay!
right.
Look forward to that.
I could have.
That was 4.
That was 4. Okay, I lost track of it for a minute. 'Cause I was staring into Corey's eyes.
We were all kind of just staring at Corey.
Number 3.
2008.
Number 2.
The year before that, 2007.
Number 1.
This is really no doubt.
This was the easiest number 1 possibly in the history of 10 counts. The number 1 greatest Rumble of all time, and if you say otherwise, you're an idiot. A stupid idiot.
2015?
No.
Oh.
1992.
There's so many reasons this is number 1. Possibly the greatest. No, I'm not going to say possibly. The greatest singular performance in a Royal Rumble by the winner.
Yes.
The most star-studded Royal Rumble of all time. When you look at former world champions and just huge names from wrestling.
I will say,
Yes.
I know it's different, but 2017,
Doesn't-
Star Power.
Doesn't count. Doesn't come close.
Star power? No, it doesn't.
No?
Doesn't come close.
Because when you look at...
Is it just because of the part-timers? Just being part-time?
No.
No,
if you look
because the Hall of Famers.
We're looking at, let's go on just Hall of Famers in this match. Ted DiBiase, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana, Kerry Von Erich, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Nikolai Volkov, the Big Boss Man, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake Roberts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Macho Man Randy Savage,
Dig it,
Iron Sheik,
baby.
Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter. How many is that?
Okay, let's talk about the guys who
16?
aren't in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
That's just the Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Then you got guys like the British Bulldog,
Should be.
Haku.
Should be. I want to say should be.
Did you say Big Boss Man earlier?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you did. Did you mention IRS?
Nope.
Or The Undertaker?
Nope.
Will be.
Or Sid Justice?
Not yet. Not
That's
in the Hall of
20.
Fame.
That's
Yeah,
20.
we're talking. It's the most star-studded Rumble of all time.
I mean, you've got a couple of throwaways and guys
Yeah, I
like
mean, there's-
Hercules.
Hercules. You've got your
Barbarian.
Virgils, Curlin Mustafa,
Skinner,
Repo Man,
Repo Man. Yeah, there's a couple throwaways, but I mean,
Sags.
but this is a fucking. This is tight. Ric Flair goes number 3 to the end, goes an hour with
What's
5 eliminations.
What's the stipulation of this match?
Well, see, this is different from every other Royal Rumble up until that time, Joe, and thank you for asking.
Oh.
Due to some offbeat shenanigans by The Undertaker and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, the World Wrestling Federation Championship was vacant at the time, and this particular Royal Rumble was for the World Wrestling Federation
Where's
Championship.
Bacon at? Shouldn't he be defending his title?
He couldn't make it. I think
okay.
Sags took his spot.
Okay.
But
Sorry I commandeered your knowledge stick here, but this one is near and dear to my heart, so I want
no, please go ahead.
to point out, I mean,
So a couple of the one thing here though that makes this a perfect Rumble almost is not just the wrestling in the ring, but Bobby Heenan on commentary.
the single greatest commentary call of all time. I'm saying that right now.
His thought process and his worry for Flair through this entire thing. And then the jubilation from him at the end.
Not only that, but Gorilla Monsoon needling him the whole time when Flair looks to be in trouble
Yes.
was so great.
And this is, again, one of the reasons why Monsoon and Heenan is possibly the greatest commentary team in history.
I think they are. My favorite part is around the time Big Boss Man comes in at 13. And the field gets eliminated.
Yes.
And it's down to just Flair and Boss Man. And Flair and Heenan's losing it. And who comes out at number 15? Ric Flair's rival, Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
The bagpipes hit. Piper's like salivating. He's got the chance to get his hands on.
But what's Bobby do? Or say, remember? Because Boss Man's got Flair on the ropes. Piper, thank God, it's not a kilt.
It's not a dress, it's a kilt.
It's a kilt. And then when he attacks Flair, you no good. It's not a kilt, it's a skirt.
Real men don't wear dresses.
Yep.
Oh, God, I love that so much. Well, of course he was going to go after him.
Jake Roberts being in the ring, number 21 when Randy Savage comes out, and then immediately falls down to the ground and slithers out of the ring to try to hide from Savage.
But they
Who
once
comes
again.
in and just starts looking around for Jake and then just bolts the ring trying to find him.
Oh my goodness! And the elimination there, so damn fun.
I gotta say, I really wish we talked about. I know it's a different Rumble, but I just want to bring it up with Macho because every time we brought up Macho, Do you guys remember when Macho tried to pin Yoko?
That's
In
literally
93?
the next year in '93
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end.
You're not supposed to pin him, Macho.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, this is still early Taker. So there's
No selling?
no sell everything. Nobody knows how he's going to get eliminated.
Well, of course. Well, I mean, we all knew how he was going to get eliminated.
Yeah.
Hogan.
Gotta pose, brother.
Hogan must pose.
Think about that 3-man stretch where you go Snuka, Taker, Savage as entries at 19, 20, and 21. And then, I mean, Rick Martel is insanely underrated as a Rumble performer.
Oh, yeah. Great.
He's so damn good. And then Hogan comes in, and I mean, House of Fire ends up getting 4 eliminations. And then Sid Justice comes in at 29. And he is wrecking shop.
As an almost 12-year-old, that's how young
Yeah.
I was at the time, I really thought Sid was going to win that. Coming in at 29, Sid?
Sid being like 6'11".
Yeah, huge dude, young. I was like, oh, I think this is Sid's time.
He ends up getting 6 eliminations, like the Diesel push before the Diesel push.
Yeah, no, and he would have won if Hogan would have been a crybaby bitch.
Because Hogan gets... So the last 3 in this match are Hulk Hogan,
Which you would expect.
Sid, and the Nature Boy.
Which you would expect.
And
No, coming in at 3 at that point?
before you finish,
Well, not if he didn't come in at 3.
but just
then yeah.
name value.
Yeah, name
Before
value.
you finish, if you're Jim Herd or anybody working in WCW, what are you thinking at this time? A year earlier, hell, 6 months earlier, both Sid and Ric Flair are under contract to you and
Yeah.
on your TV. And now they're 2 of the final 3 in the Royal Rumble for the world title and a pay-per-view that did ridiculously well.
Actually, you know what? Let's start it this way. I'm going to go with eliminations 25 and above.
Okay?
So elimination, the 25th man eliminated is Rick Martel. The 26th man eliminated is Piper. The 27th is Savage. 28th is Hogan. So now it's down to Sid and Flair. Sid's the fresh man.
The Horsemen. The Horsemen
Yeah.
are fighting, by God.
He's only been in for like, what, 5.5 minutes?
Hey, Hogan, Vince never created the Horsemen,
That's
so
true.
that they never
Right?
So,
never happened.
but Hogan decides to go heel
No, he decides to throw a fit.
and pulls on Sid.
He's literally acting like an 8-year-old who wants his toy back.
Give me your hand.
He's like, he goes for the handshake and then starts pulling him out. Flair comes from behind, flips Sid out, and your winner and the new WWF champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
To a long-term wrestling fan, and even as young as I was, just to hear World Wrestling Federation champion Ric Flair sounded so weird.
Oh, it's insane. And then think about this.
Bobby Eaton like orgasming at the announce table.
Oh, dude, Heenan is going apeshit. I told you! He's the greatest!
A young Shane McMahon as a ref on the outside.
Yep.
And then that promo afterwards in the back.
With a tear in my eye. Oh, you mean jeans? Put that out, will you?
But, oh my god, Flair is perfect in that final promo.
This wasn't even close. As soon as we knew this was the topic we were doing, I was like, well, one's checked off.
Yeah.
I think all of us knew what
It
checked off.
It wasn't even a question. There was more of a question. I mean, 2 through 10 was a question.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of delineation between the 3 lists when it came to where things were. I think most of the lists were pretty equal on what matches were there.
I had 9 out of
minus
10.
1 or 2.
Joe had a pretty good pulse for this list. He had 9 out of 10 on his list.
I'll say, I think 8 of mine made it. Then Corey, you were close to 8 or 9.
Yeah,
So, this was just an easy list at 1. But actually, it worked out pretty well for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's a good list.
So, of course, you can tell us your thoughts and opinions on the greatest Rumble matches after 92
Yeah.
on your 2 through 10s. Probably on the Facebook's probably the best way, facebook.com/NoCellEntertainment. Or our new email address, contact us at nocellentertainment.com.
I wish anybody on the current roster was as over as Roddy Piper is in 1990 here. Jesus Christ, that crowd.
I wish more of them were like Rowdy on the stick as well.
That too.
Or that they would allow Kevin Owens to be a heel like Rowdy Piper was before that.
That's true.
Also, you can reach us on the Twitter at NoCellENT. We're on Instagram at NoCellENT, Snapchat NoCellPodcast. You can also follow us individually on the Twitter space. Joe.
At Sheen Machine 23.
Corey.
That kayfabe guy.
And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at TheMacTheMAACK for all things picks 5 through 7. I've really focused there.
Yeah, you are.
I want to see more people win in that 5 through 7 range.
There you go. Hey, man, you know.
Maybe the 12 spot. That would be a really good place to see.
I just hope they don't do the tropes they do every year. Number 1 comes in and lasts 58 minutes, or number 30 comes in and is eliminated within 2 minutes.
About to say that did kind of happen in '92.
Well, that's fine.
But hey, at least nobody wanted number 30 to win anyways with the Warlord.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And with that being said, for producer Zen, for the dashing one Joseph Wessel,
The Sheen Machine.
I kind of went old school there.
I might go back to dashing.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's on my shirt.
This is true.
it's true.
I'm going back!
For purple peanut butter, Corey
So
Mack.
apparently, Joe Lessel confirmed as the Mick Foley of No Cell Entertainment.
We're gonna make him pull 3 different hats out next
Yeah.
Rumble.
Yep.
He's gonna come in as the dashing
The
one,
Obi-Wan.
the Obi-Wan of Filet Mignon, and acecowboy.com/org. Purple, Yankees 9, Padres still existing.com.
You got too many
Bob Orton.
goddamn gimmicks, son.
My bad.
I am the Onitoshi Jeff Mack. Good night.
Thank you.